Our ancestors, they didn't have books, they didn't have Google. They used what was around them in nature. They didn't have the stores like we do. Everything took time and a lot of patience. My name is Whitney Courtney. I'm Chickasaw, and I teach natural dyeing. My ancestors would have made their bags, mats, ladies' skirts would have been patterned out of plant fibers such as nettle or animal hairs like rabbit, buffalo, and then they would have chosen what colors they needed, and then they would have dyed it. My ancestors used a lot of fruits and vegetables along with barks and leaves. For instance, the strawberries, they will give you this pretty pink color, and then blueberries, they will give you a purple color. I start by choosing what type of fiber I'm gonna use. Today, I have the wool because it takes the color the best. So what I like to do is to turn it into a hank. You can use anything, and then you just take it and you wrap it around quite a few times, and then you'll just pull it off, and it'll look like this. And you can see now the liquid, the dye, can move around, so you're gonna get a more uniform color. The water I like to use best, and that's closest to rainwater if you can't get rainwater, would actually be baby distilled water. And then you need to add a mordant that will help fix the color to your wool, your yarn, your fiber. My ancestors would have used cave salts or even stale urine as a mordant to fix the colors that they had. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna add your alum to your water, and you're gonna make sure it's all dissolved. And then you're gonna take your wool and you're gonna put it in there, but you need to put it in there before you ever put it over a fire, because wool is very picky and it doesn't like temperature changes. If you change it too much, it'll felt and it will not be that pretty. Then you're gonna take your pot and you're gonna put it over a fire, and you're gonna bring it almost to a boil. Don't actually boil it for about 30 minutes. And then I like to let it set overnight so that it can soak up as much of that mordant as possible. While the yarn is over the fire, we're gonna smash some strawberries. You can use a blender, you can use a knife. My ancestors would have made a pestle kind of like this. I made this out of a rock. And you're just gonna put your berries in there and smash it. After I've chopped up my strawberries, I will need to boil it for an hour, 2 hours. Kind of have to watch it and baby it, and when that color gets about where you want it a little darker, because some of that will rinse out once you go to clean it. And then I'm going to have to strain out all the particles, and you're going to take your wool from your mordant bath and you're going to put it over into your clean dye bath. And then you take your pot and you put it back on the heat. Depending on what you're working with, it's either 30 minutes to 2 hours to longer. And then after it's boiled and you like the color, then you want it to hang dry. This is one of the colors you can get, and this is from the logwood. And right now it looks really black, but I promise you if you took it out in the sun, you would see purple. It's really magical. This one is the yellow from the horseapple tree, the bodark tree. It's the same tree they use for stickball sticks and the bows that they make, but it gives you this fluorescent yellow, and it is very, very pretty. The first natural dye class that I took, I made this twine bag, and you can see this is 2 years old, maybe a little more. It's been out in the sun, and it has faded. It was really bright, but it's still pretty. I feel like natural dyeing, it connects me to nature and my ancestors, and it also connects me with my family members. Like, I got to talking to my grandma, and I was telling her that I had read that they would naturally dye flour sacks once they were in Indian territory. She was like, oh yeah, my mom used to make our clothes from the flour sacks. She used to sew us dresses, and so I felt really more connected to them. Natural dyeing is something you're not gonna learn in a week, a day, a class. you're gonna have to learn your entire life because everything affects the plants. From the rain it received that season to the soil quality, it's always changing, and you just have to kind of listen to your surroundings.